Okay. All right. So I created an application called CollegeMatcher. Today's agenda will be an introduction to the application. I'll be talking about the front end and back end exploration, my experimental results, and the implications in the future. So what inspired me to create an application that addresses the college application process for high schoolers was just there's just so much information out there, particularly in the United States regarding college application process, and there's often so much intimidation and stigma around mental health regarding high schoolers in the college application process. So therefore, my part of the solution, my app provides the resources for students, specifically information to more than 100 universities, images of buildings of the universities, creating a community for students, and a program called the recommendations page that recommends universities based on students' statistics and preferences. So essentially, here we're looking at a flowchart of my app. So the back end and the front end. The front end is created in Dart, the language of Flutter. And so while the front end is created in Flutter, the back end consists of Google Maps API, OpenAI API web scraping, and Python code. All of this is integrated together through a Firebase database that holds all of the university data that I collected. And through this database, this helps transfer the connection between the front end and the back end. So now I'll be going into a live demo of the app. So here on the right side is my application. Here we're looking at the home page. The recommended university section is created through a connection with ChatGPT's AI program that, based on the schools that you have viewed and previously explored, you will be generated a list of schools that ChatGPT thinks is a quality fit for you. Below, we also see a list of trending universities, which, based on current and up-to-date research, these are some of the schools that students should consider looking at due to multiple reasons, like maybe their increase in school ranking or whatnot. And we are also given the ability to search for all universities. So again, my app consists of 100+ schools across America. So within each university here, I will be able to click into this school and be given an in detail description of an overview of the school, what the school is, where it's located, and be given a collection of the buildings of the school and multiple pictures for each building. For me, I thought of this idea, and through the overwhelmingness of college campus exploration, because there's just so much out there, and having this cohesive place to be able to view these schools that are often far away was an idea that really stuck with me. So here, for every single building of the school, we're able to look at and explore the images of the school. And we're also given a list of nearby places of the school just to familiarize oneself with the community and the space of where the university is located. All right. So it looks like the app is having some technical difficulties at the moment. So we will return to the presentation. So now let's take a look at some backend code for the app. So here is an instance of a piece of Python code that uses the Google Maps API. So with Google Maps API, I use this connection to extract the images of each school. So here is a function called getSchoolInfo. So right here, I'm extracting the overview of the school and just the school data in general, including its images, using an API connection. Moving on, here's another point in my code that web scrapes images. So web scraping is the process of extracting online data from open resources online, such as websites and companies or organizations that have their information out there. So we use web scraping and a series of code, as you see here, to extract different images and information about universities that are online. So here is the database that all of my data is stored in. I utilize the Firebase database as it's convenient and simple, and it allows a very smooth interaction between the front end and the back end. So as you see here in the image on the right, the database stores the coordinates of the school, the address, the description of the school, and each building of the school, along with a Google Cloud link to its image. So using that link, the front end is able to capture that and bring the image forward through the database. So here's another example of where I use Google Maps API to extract the descriptions and images. And this is all written in Python. The recommendations page is the second feature of my app. The first feature was the images and presenting the buildings and the images of the school. The second part and program of my app is what I call the recommendations page, which, as you see in the image on the right, students are able to enter their statistics, like their grades, their standardized test scores, their awards, extracurriculars, their aspiring major, their interests in general and what they're looking for in a school, like if they want a school to be in a certain location. And after their input of all this information, I connect with an OpenAI API, and I use ChatGPT to help assist in generating a list of 20 recommended universities for the student based on their interests and what they have told the program. So after their input of their information, they will receive a list that looks like this. So it allows the student to better understand what kind of higher education that they might go into and further explore the different avenues that they can take. So here you can see the students have presented the name of the school and an overview of the school. With the click of the arrow on the right here, students will be able to go to the page of the school that is within the app. So there they will be able to further explore how the school looks, the images of the school, the buildings, and to immerse themselves in a different environment that they might be in. So next, let's discuss the experiments that I conducted in this paper, in writing this paper, and in this app. So my first experiment, I wanted to test the accuracy and reliability of the recommendations page program. So clearly, since the recommendations page is created using OpenAI and ChatGPT, there may be discrepancies between what the students receive. So therefore, I created a data set of 10 test students, and I generated random information for each student that corresponds to each category in the recommendations page. So I created like a random GPA, a random set of extracurriculars, randomly generated major, etc. And I inputted all of these individually into my program, the recommendations page, and I recorded the schools that the program generated each time, and after that, I assigned an accuracy score for each instance for each student. So the accuracy score was made based on how well the schools that were generated fitted the students' requirements. And with these accuracy scores for 10 students and 5 test trials, I had 50 total accuracy scores. And by averaging each of the accuracy scores for each student and then for all the 10 students in general, I was able to compare and understand, where in the accuracy range that this program felt in. Through this experiment, though it's too small to see in this image, I realized that the program, especially with the utilization of ChatGPT, was not the most consistent at all times. So this meant that sometimes the program would generate a set of schools, but then they would change the set of schools the next time. And this obviously is not a great thing, but I think that overall the program did a good job in assisting the students and what they wanted, but there's still work to do in improving the accuracy and reliability of it. So the second experiment that I conducted involved real people and real users. I sent out a beta version of my app to a group of high school students and high school and college students, and they were able to explore the app and play with the recommendations page. So from their response to the app, I put all of their information into scatter plots and bar charts. So on the top left, we can see a user satisfaction scatter plot. Clearly, the users are mostly very satisfied with their generated list from the recommendations page. So on the bottom right, on the other hand, when users were asked if they think that the questions in the recommendations page were sufficient, clearly 6 of them answered yes, and 3 of them answered somewhat, which gives me a general idea that from both of the graphs, I'm able to see that students are generally somewhat satisfied with the services that my app provides, but with the answers in somewhat or somewhat satisfied can come from things like new parameters that the participants want to see. So in this experiment, when students were asked, what more would they want to see in this app, and what more do you think, what potential that this app can have? A lot of students touched on including a potential minor question in the recommendations page, allowing the page to provide more information on the cost and tuition aspect of schools, the weather, the course rigor at schools, financial aid. These are just a few among the many responses that I got from the participants of the experiment. So the participants of the experiment, high schoolers and college students, they had a lot to say about what they wanted to see in an app like this, and this kind of led me to think about how an app like this is not very prominent and prevalent in modern society, and that their thoughts on this app are super helpful in allowing me to continue to adopt and change the app based on their suggestions and feedback. So in terms of suggestions and feedback, looking into the future, I am not completely finished with this project and this app, though I am done with the paper. There's still a lot more potential and a lot more things that can be done with CollegeMatcher, the app. I think that one of them, and specifically with the recommendations page, which is, a core foundation of the app, I hope to be able to explore more the different AI programs that I can use. In this process, I did a lot of research on the reliability and accuracy of ChatGPT, and after finding out that clearly ChatGPT and OpenAI is not the most reliable tool, I hope to be able to research and explore more accurate AI models and services that could be able to provide a more consistent and trustworthy backbone of the app. So some of these that I hope to explore more include Google Gemini, Meta AI, and there are a lot of smaller AIs that people may not know about a lot, but hopefully researching into them and utilizing them in an app can help shed light on them and what they do. So I am super excited about the potentials of the app and being able to spread this across not only America, but different countries worldwide. And so thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.